thousand.
Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the Sunday services at Center for Spiritual Living, Denver. We are a loving and prospering community in the heart of Denver and online. We now conduct hybrid services at the historic Grant Avenue Community Center and Sacred Place, located at 216 South Grant Street, Denver, Colorado. All are welcomed here. A place, space, and face of love. We are a spiritual community practicing universal principles that enrich our lives. We are grateful that you have blessed us with your presence. While online, we'd love to know you're watching with us. Feel free to leave a comment and let everyone appreciate you. With everything going on, life can feel overwhelming. CSL Denver wants you to know we are here for you. Please know that our practitioners are available for personal prayer work. Our licensed spiritual practitioners' names and phone numbers are available on our website at csldenver.org. Or if you have a prayer request, feel free to email it to info@csldenver.org. For your convenience, you'll find clickable links in the description of this broadcast. Rev Elzia, along with all our guest speakers, practitioners, service coordinators, and musical inspirations, want you to know how truly grateful we are that you are with us today. Thank you for your continued support and participation in our services, workshops, and events, as well as providing financial contributions to our center. If you're interested in upcoming events and information, we send out weekly newsletters. Sign up by visiting www.csldenver.org. We deliver services in a hybrid format where we meet in person at 216 South Grant Street. We will also continue to live stream all services on Facebook and YouTube every Sunday. Find us on our respective channels as well as on New Thought Media Network. Again, thank you for your precious attention. Now prepare for engaging enlightenment.
There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows, a beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true. A beautiful garden, that garden is you. Such a beautiful garden, that garden is you.
Beautiful music to start this morning off with. I'm Bill Carlton, a practitioner here at CSL Denver. I invite you to close your eyes gently, take in a deep breath, and release all the negative emotions, and just be present in this world. We feel that oneness of God surrounding all of us, leading us to embrace the imperfections in our lives. We know that oneness is present in the message we receive, the music we hear, the technical support of Reverend Elzia, Reverend Michael, Diego, our producers. I know each and every one participating and attending this service is blessed. I'm grateful and give thanks for all that has brought us here at this moment. As we release these words to the universe, knowing they return to us tenfold, and so it is. The joy of the journey is our talk for today. We shift our focus to embracing our imperfections as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Our awareness of the oneness with the universe, our planet, and every blade of grass inspires and guides us in the enrichment and expressions in our lives. Your relationship to life is that you are of like nature to it. You are in it, and it is in you. Some part of you exists as pure, unmanifested spirit. This side of your nature has never been troubled. Since you are fashioned from the stuff of the invisible, its nature is incarnated in you. From Ernest Holmes, 365. Science of Mind, page 49. I find I am constantly being encouraged to pluck out of some one aspect of myself and present this as the meaningful whole, eclipsing or denying the other parts of self. Lord Audrey, Sister Outsider, Essays and Speeches. And now a bit more music.
Hello, all you folks at CSL Denver. Susan Clark with you. Wish I could be there in person, but here I am in my living room in beautiful downtown Sandia Park, New Mexico. I picked out a song today by Mavis Staples, and this song is called You're Worthy. Hope you enjoy it. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Look at you smiling, shining, beaming like the sunshine. Rising, climbing, grinding through the hard times. Rolling, showing up like you're a star. No matter where you stand today, I hope you know you are, hope you know you're worthy. All that smile on your face, you know you're worthy. Keep on flowing in your grace, you know you're worthy. To take up all that space, so go ahead and clap your hands, you're worthy of it all. Oh, 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 you're worthy. Oh, 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 you are worthy. Oh, 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 you're worthy. Oh, 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 oh. Look at your patience, praying, waiting for the good times, facing judgments, even at your high highs. If they don't see it, you can let them down. When they try to kick you, don't you let yourself get down. Better know you're worthy. I hope you know you're worthy. Hope you know you're worthy. Oh, 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 you're worthy. Oh, 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 you are worthy. Oh, 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 you're worthy. Oh, 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 look at you smiling, shining, beaming like sunshine, rising, climbing, grinding through the hard times, growing, showing up like you're a star. No matter where you stand today, I hope you know you are, hope you know you're worthy. All that smile on your face, you're worthy. So keep flowing in your grace, you know you're worthy. To take up all that space, so go ahead and clap your hands, you're worthy of it all. Oh, 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 you're worthy. Oh, 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 you're worthy. Oh, 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 you're worthy. So go ahead and clap your hands, you're worthy of it all. Go ahead and clap your hands, you're worthy of it all. Go ahead and clap your hands, you're worthy of it all. Thank you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. And what a wonderful song to start the service with. Mavis Staples. And for some of you into the early 70 music, you remember the Staples singles. And one of the songs that was prominent from them that really touched my heart was I'll Take You There. I'll Take You There. And how fitting that is for today's talk on the joy of the journey. The joy of the journey. Now, first and foremost, I want to say good morning and welcome to CSL Denver, a place, a space, and a face of love. A spiritual community teaching ancient wisdom and utilizing principles that allow us to empower our lives and the lives of others. That empowers our lives and the lives of others. Because when we can do that, we can step right into that song of the Staples Centers that I'll take you there on this journey, on this thing called life. And so as we wrap up or conclude this month's theme of the gifts of imperfection, what a concept. When we live in a world where everything is perceived or advertised or put forth as being perfect, yet all around us we see imperfection, the question has to come up, is perfection just an idea to keep us moving towards a higher level of whatever it is, understanding, growth, relationships? Because you see, life itself is most definitely a journey. Most definitely a journey. Now, and if you don't think it is, just think about your trip here today. Or even if you're watching online, your trip from the bedroom to the kitchen to get the coffee, and from the coffee table to the computer. There was a whole lot of stuff going on. I didn't want to waste the coffee on the carpet because I can never get the stains out. It's a journey. I missed the light. Doggone it, I'm going to be late. But when we think about the entirety of the journey, not some incident that happens within it, we allow ourselves to be prepared for the detours, to be prepared for the shortcomings, as they may say. Because as we navigate this journey, there's a critical thing that happens. We've all talked about or heard about or read about these mindfulness moments, right? These moments when we're supposed to, just breathe and take it in. Well, sometimes I just can't breathe. I try and there's no breathing. But why? Because I have some expectation of what the journey looks like. I have some hidden agenda of how I want things to go. Now, this may not be everybody, but I know for sure it happens to me very often, very often. And when that happens, I have to regroup and understand that statement that says, enjoy, be with, live in the moment. Live in the moment. So as last night, we continued our spiritual cinema, which we have every other month. And last night, we had the movie One Love. That was a biopic of the middle part, if you will, of Bob Marley's life. One of the defining moments of his life from 76 to 78. And there was one thing that was very apparent. And if you haven't seen that movie, I would encourage you. It's on Amazon Prime. You can get it. But when you look at that movie and just that segment of his life, you understand what journey means, or what the journey of life means. There were some ups, some downs, some twists, some turns. There were some moments, in fact, that he almost lost his life. But he said this, Bob Marley said this. He said, though the road's been rocky, it sure feels good to be me. It feels good to me. Although the road's been rocky, it still feels good to me. That means he's found some joy in the journey. Even with the gunshots, even with his wife getting shot, even with his children being displaced, even with people doubting his ability to do what he was doing. There's a scene in the movie that I love, and it capsulized one of his greatest albums, Exodus, right? And he was talking with the guy who was producing, and they were into the big glamour on the covers, and he just had a gold background with the red word that says Exodus. And the producer said, well, this is not a movie. This is not a Cecil B. DeMille movie. We need something there. And I love what he said. He said something to the effect that the music is the message and the message is the music. So we don't need a lot of glitz and glamour. We just need to show what the journey is, right? We just need to give you an image without trying to sway you one way or the other, to let you understand that this journey is an exodus from all of the confusion that we find ourselves in when we can't enjoy the moment, when we can't enjoy the journey. There's the verse that says, we're leaving Babylon and we're heading to a higher place to get a better vision, to understand the journey, to be tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to this thing called life. Because we know if we've been in this planet for 6 months, we know there's some ups and downs and twists and turns. If a baby could express themselves, they would let you know emphatically. You know, I was sitting in this bed for about an hour, soaking wet, and you did not pay any doggone attention to me. Now that's a turn for you, because now I got a rash, and now we got a whole nother thing that we got to get into. But as that baby learns and grows, it understands, okay, well, that taught me a little patience. I cried as loud as I could. They didn't come. So I had to be patient. I had to take it in. I had to understand that life is not always peaches and cream, as they say. But it's the journey. When I can find joy in the journey, things open, things happen. Now, right now is a perfect backdrop for this talk. As we step into the Olympics, we're like in day 2 of the Olympics, day 3 of the Olympics, and you're talking about some journeys. Now, whether you're an Olympic fanatic or, okay, I won't say that. If you like the Olympics like I do, just the variety of all kinds of events that allow us to step on a journey, whether it's archery, whether it's mountain biking, whether it's swimming or running. When you listen to the stories of some of these athletes and how they made it there, it is most definitely a journey. And I forget the young lady's name, and she won. Well, she came in third on the time trial for riding a bike. Last Olympics, she went over a fence and broke her leg, and they thought they might have to amputate the leg. She now is in sometimes so much pain that her team has to help her on the bike and help her get clicked in to the pedals. Now, you know, we're in Colorado, so we got a lot of bikers. And if you ever rode a bike, a real, like, clipped in, boy, that's a challenge. Because when you get to the stop sign, you got to figure out how to twist your foot just the right way to get it out, or you're going to fall. So imagine your whole body hurts and you got to get clipped in, and inevitably she was riding and boom, she fell. But she got back up, got on the bike, and came in third. Got the bronze. Now, she was looking for the gold, but she has a couple other events that she's going to try to do that, include that journey of wholeness in there. But when we look at life and we realize that there will be these challenges, we step into that moment of grace. Because however, you know, I don't know how many people were in that time trial, but I know across the globe, there were a ton of people trying to get to the Olympics. And all those people who didn't get on the podium they'll tell you, I'm sure, yeah, I wanted a gold or silver or bronze. However, the achievement of being selected as an Olympian is a journey all into itself. The people I'm meeting, the time in Paris, the self-endurance and resistance and the surrendering that happens is palatable. It's palatable. And so the question becomes, life is about choice and perspective. Choice and perspective. This young lady could have made the choice. I like my leg. I don't want to lose my leg. I don't think I'm gonna get on that bike anymore. But what did she do? Her perspective was, there's some people, they got a whole nother thing going on after this called the Paralympics, where people who have disabilities, as they say, missing limbs and all sorts of things, and they go out and compete. They go out and enjoy that journey. Win, lose, or draw. They're in the moment of living. And so she decided to get back on the bike. Now think about yourself. Think about past experiences that shift your perception, whether it's hurt or fear or guilt or any old thing that doesn't allow us to step into the fullness of who we are. We heard Bill read earlier about this invisible stuff that's in us. When you look at that 6-month-old baby who's crying about that diaper rash, there's some invisible stuff in there that as they grow, it begins to emerge and they become a Picasso, or they become a Michael Phelps, or they become whoever, because there's some invisible stuff that baby learns to look at in different perspectives and learn the idea of sometimes it doesn't work. You ever had a baby? You give them something and they just drop it on the floor. And what you do, you get it, you give it to them again, and they drop it on the floor. And they will do that an inordinate amount of times because they're trying to understand this journey. God, I can hold this, I can drop it. And guess what? Somebody can give it back to me. Even though I dropped it, I really wanted it, but I was trying to figure it out, and they gave it back. That same thing happens in life. If we give, life gives back to us. But if I get restricted and I start holding back because I'm afraid of the journey, I'm afraid of what will happen, that's a story unto itself. That we'll leave that one for later. We'll leave it for later because it gets us in a frame of mind to that life does not cooperate with me. Life is against me. But when you look at it from another place and make another choice, things happen and then other things happen. And I can make a choice how I respond to those things. Now, if we really want to get a good understanding of this whole joy of the journey, in Philippians, which is written by Paul, it says this: I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. That's that invisible stuff that's in there. That's what Paul is talking about. And if you know anything about Paul, up until the moment he had this epiphany on the road to Damascus, his whole thing was persecuting the Christians, the followers of Jesus. And then he had this epiphany and he was awakened. And when you look at the Philippians, it's only 4 chapters. It looks at themes of joy and humility and unity and perseverance and humble service, which is what happened to him after he had that moment of enlightenment. He stepped into humble service and said, here's a person that had I saw him on the road, I might have done something bad. But he had that awakening and he became one of the most ardent speakers and projectors of the teaching of Jesus. He stepped into the journey. He had fear and doubt and all these other things that was having him look to persecute somebody, that got turned around, and then he stepped on the journey fully and lived it in a totally different way of service, of humility, of joy in the moment. Are we able to do that? Are you able to do that? Can we step out of our pettiness, out of our wants and needs and all those things that in most cases have been put upon us? Because the only thing we really need in this life is food, air, and shelter. Not in that order. You probably need some air first. Because without that air, you can fast for a long time without food, but you can only go maybe, I don't know, depends on how much you practice breathing. You can't go more than 15, 20 minutes without breath. Everything starts shutting down. But some simple things to give us this power on the journey. To give us this power on the journey. Now, the divine invites us every day in every way. If you're not on the journey, get on the path. If you're in the journey, stay on the path. And how does that happen? A sunrise, a rainbow. Last night, one of the ladies that was at the movie, her sister was at a concert at Mile High Stadium. And you can't make this up. It started raining and then a rainbow, a rainbow covered, looked like it was meant to be on both sides of the stadium. I got to get on that journey. I'm sitting here in the rain and I paid my money. I don't want to sit here in the rain. I'm going to be cold. But then that rainbow pops up that says the journey is worth it. The rain is not going to last forever. It's a momentary thing. Enjoy that moment, the refreshing rain, it clears the air, and then look what happens. You get a rainbow. Have you ever had that happen in your life? Are you looking for that kind of impetus, if you will, to keep you moving on this path? To deal with the ups and downs and ins and outs and twists and turns? Because let me be the first to tell you, if you haven't been told before or you haven't realized, they are not going away. This is the gifts of imperfection, because, those things people look at as imperfections, but they're not. They are stepping stones, as we've said before, on this path. On this path. So how do we begin to find our way around this thing called life, this journey, so that we can do it in joy? Well, the first thing is what we've been always told. You got to embrace the moment. Embrace the moment. If you can remember, if you're a swimmer, we're going to stick with this Olympic theme because there's just so many lessons in there. When you put in the water, or in my case in Florida, they just throw you in the water. If you're slow in class, they don't, all right, look. The only way you're going to learn to swim, we done showed you all the strokes and how to breathe. We're just going to throw your butt in there. And you're going to figure it out. We know you intellectually got it all together. But you got to get in the water and be in the moment to get out of your head and into the moment. And of course, they put me on the high diving board. I dove off. I swam. Didn't think I could, but I swam the whole length of the pool, got up, went straight on home. Because I was like, okay, this is not fun. If this is what this is going to be, I'm going home. Now, I came back. But in that moment, I was like, oh, my God. But when I got home and thought about it, in that moment, I was able to pull it all together. As scared as I was, and I was on a high diving board. I was probably about 9, 10, and they got behind me, so I couldn't come back down. And that's the way it is right now. We on this journey. You can't get off the journey. If you're going to be here, you got to be on the journey. So you got to stay in the moment. You got to engage all of your senses. The 5 that we most know about, and then that 6th one that I like, that intuition, that intuitive sense of, all right, the intuition didn't happen for me until I got home, but I was like, okay, that wasn't too bad. And it was actually kind of fun. Once I got over the shock and all of that stuff, that's what we have to do if we want to enjoy this journey. We got to take it moment by moment. Not get too ahead of yourself. Don't get stuck in the past, but take it right now in this moment. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Just stay present. Just stay present. Now, the second thing that we have to, I was going to say something else, but the second thing that we have to deal with is we have to lean into these challenges. Not shy away from them, lean into them. Because I would guarantee you, and guarantees are a dime a dozen, but I guarantee you that if you looked at your life when you were up against the trouble and you leaned into it, not only did you get through it, but you also learned a lot about the situation, about yourself, about life, how it has its twists and turns. And when you got through it, I guarantee you, if you look back on your life at one of those moments, you will smile to think about, boy, I don't believe I got through that. I don't even know how I got through that. I was in this situation. I was on this path. I was in this thing. And the walls came tumbling down. But guess what? I went on through. It's like that story of the frog. Y'all know that story about the frog? These 3 frogs? They fell into a bucket of milk. And 2 of them just gave up. But the one frog, he just kept on churning. Just kept on churning. And eventually turned that milk into butter, and then he just hopped on out. Just hopped right on out. And he felt sorry for his friends who gave up, who didn't understand the journey, but he just kept going. Because he understood that this is a journey. I can overcome obstacles. I can rejoice when I made it through. I can be grateful at whatever life throws at me because it will introduce me to something that I may not have known about myself. That I may not have known about myself. And oh boy, what a joy when you find that out. Think about the first time you figured out you could ride a bike. Boy, what a joy. You didn't want it. Okay, it's time to get off the bike. Now it's dinner time. You got to come in the house. No, just one more time around the block. Because that invigorates life. That taps into that invisible stuff that is in us. That allows the presence of the divine to show forth in all ways, always. Now, the last thing that we need, and I want to, before I do that, I want to go back to living in the present moment. I want to go back to this quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. Thich Nhat Hanh says this: life is available only in the present moment. If you abandon the present moment, you cannot live the moments of your daily life deeply. you can't go deep. And without going, I mean, just think about if you're fishing. You might catch some minnows on the surface of the water, but if you want to get the big fish, you got to go deep. You got to go deep. Now, the last thing, after we've stepped into the present moment and we've allowed ourselves to lean into the challenges, the last thing that we need to do is we need to trust the process. We need to understand and lean into the divine plan. Now, Proverbs 3:5-6 says this: the journey is never ending. Oh, you switched me. That was okay. Yes. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. He will make your path straight, or she will make your path straight, or it will make your path straight. We don't want to get hung up on terms. One of the things that was made very clear in the movie last night, on Bob Marley, they were at a little function and they were saying we and they and them, and Bob Marley's wife said, no, we say I and I. Because the moment you start saying we and they, we've already created separation. But when I say I and I, that means we're the same thing. I is you and you is I. And when we can embrace this journey together, now we can step into this divine plan and trust that it will be made straight. Trust that it will lead us to a place that we're looking for. There's a book out called The Magic of Surrender. And I forget the author's name is Kuti Blackson. And if you haven't seen that book, easy book, 7 chapters, he talks about this whole idea of the magic of surrender, which is what we're talking about here. That if you can stay open enough and lean into the signs and understand what God has given us, there's no way for you not to find joy. You just got to be aware. You just got to be aware. And so when we can do that, when we can allow ourselves to be in the moment, and we can lean into the challenges and understand that there's a divine plan, not some rigid thing, but a plan that allows you to unfold every step of the way. And if you miss it this step, guess what? We got something else for you on the next step to get you to where you need to be. That's when we begin to enjoy and find joy in the journey. So in closing, think about embracing challenges. Think about hugging those rough moments. In fact, fall in love with those moments so that you can begin to really open up that invisible stuff that's always there waiting for us to ignite that flame so that it becomes visible. And so when we can do that, we can step into life fully, wholly, and boldly. Let us pray. Heavenly Mother, Father God, that dual aspect of life, that point of view that encompasses all things, that allows us to open up the heart of who we are and allow that to elevate and ignite the divine energy in our mind that allows us to create a world that works for all. That power, that presence, that knowledge, that understanding, it is in each and every one of us, waiting for us to call it forth. And I know that each and every one of us, whether we're here or online, that moment is always present. That energy is always present. And now we are stepping into that moment. We're embracing that power. We're embracing that love, that idea, that journey of life. And so right here, right now, I know each and every one of us are smiling on the inside as we say yes to life, as we say yes to the challenges, as we say yes to the triumphs, as we move beyond those challenges. Because we know that the divine will make the path straight, even though it may feel or look crooked as we go along the way. And so as I release this prayer into Allah, giving thanks to all there is, I know that we are open. I know that we are ready, willing, and able to rise to the occasion. And so I just let this be into a law that is already active in our lives and claim it to be. And so it is, amen. And so it is, amen. And so, as always, and I know I mess with the technician because I mix it all up, whether I do the call to action first or I do the prayer, but I just felt like the prayer was right there. But when we look at life this week, let's look at these call to actions to kind of really help us move beyond. Take a few moments this week to reflect on the blessings and joy you've experienced either up or down on this journey called life. Just think, you don't even have to do a journal on it. Just think about it. Just think about the ups and downs of life and then look at how things unfold either way, whether it was so-called bad or so-called good. And then look for an opportunity to stay in the moment regardless of the circumstances and record what you learn. What it means to stay in that moment. And so as we anchor that in for this week, we go to this affirmation that hopefully we can use throughout the week. I trust in the divine plan and find joy in all moments of life's journey. I trust in the divine plan and find joy in all moments of life's journey. And so it is. And so now is that time for sacred giving. And we want to thank you for coming and supporting us, whether it's in person, online, or however you do it. We are so happy. We have so many things planned as we continue into this year and get ready to move into the fall. We'll have our next Cinema of the Soul in September. We're going to start a new event on the fourth Sundays, community conversation, community cafe, where we come together, and I'm not doing it justice, but look online, you'll find it. We're going to have where we eat and break bread and share some ideas and have conversations so that we can learn from each other. So that's what a community is. And so when you give your tithes and support and talent and treasure, that's what you're supporting. The building of a community where we can learn together and grow together and provide service together. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see the affirmation that we use to anchor this idea into your heart. And so if you repeat after me, this perfect gift is spirit informed, circulating and blessing all that it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive. And so it is, amen. And so it is, amen. And Alice is going to come and give us some announcements. Hope to see you soon at something. All right? Peace and blessings.
So always the first Sunday of every month after service, we do a meditation and coffee social. So we will have Giselle, one of our practitioners, will be leading the meditation. So we will do a short meditation and then we'll circle up and then have a meditation, and then we will have some discussion. So please join us about that. And it's right after service. And then, as Reverend Elzia said, the Community Cafe, we will start that on August 25th. And Teresa, who was just here a minute ago, will be doing a short spiel on dreams and how to make them work in your life. So we'll talk about that, but we'll do like a potluck circle up again. And so it won't be a regular service where Elzia will talk to us. It's going to be kind of all of us share and create community. And we have Older Science Mind magazines over here. We have one left for August that we're done with, and then we'll start next month. But those the older ones are free, and there's also some CDs there that you're welcome to have. Somebody has donated them, and so please feel free to take them. And if you would like to hear some good news of the world to affirm the good in the world, we have a link on our Facebook page called "And Now the Good News." This program is put together by New Thought Media Network and airs on Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And you can watch these anytime during the week. Just go to the Center for Spiritual Living Denver Facebook page and just click on anything that says "And Now the Good News." And it's great, especially with things going on these days and kind of, the craziness of it. It's nice to just see some good news rather than not so great news. And New to Thought Media Network they are just awesome. Reverend Robert has just done such a phenomenal job. They have prayer at 8:15 a.m. and p.m. every day. And you can look for www.ntmedia.org and check out what they have, because they've got something for everyone. And we are so truly blessed by everyone who has chosen CSL Denver to be their home. And as I said, we just love this community and want to see it build and grow. And so your energy with it just does our hearts good. And let's close out with Karen Drucker singing "I Am So Grateful."
Hey, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. Hey! Oh yeah. Grateful. I just say I am so grateful every day for all I have. Every day. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all I have. Every day I say it. Grateful. How I'm grateful every day. Oh yeah. I am so grateful. Oh yeah. So grateful. 'Cause I accept and I receive. I am so grateful. Oh yes, I am. I am so grateful. Hey, grateful. I just count my